So, today we're going to be talking about, wait. Almost didn't do the intro. And I know that's the whole reason you tune into the show. It's for the intro. Game Gods! Super Edition video. So, my mic is going to be peaking. People are going to be taking off their headsets on the bus and throwing it out the window. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not, because this channel is all about energy. And what we project into the world, we get back 1,000. I don't know if that's true. It sounds like some shit you hear on Instagram, but anyways. So we're going to be talking about She-Hulk, Angry Joe, and how he done fucked it up. Okay, so Angry Joe, let me just first start off by saying that Angry Joe has been a main staple and has done great things for the video game industry. I also want to say, in general, whenever you criticize somebody who's done nothing but pretty great, solid things for something, it's pretty disingenuous to only bring that up. You should always preface what you're about to say with letting people know that you acknowledge the good things they've done if they've done a lot of good things. And yeah, I think I just did that. So let's get on with the video. Long story short, Angry Joe has decided that he does like She-Hulk. Now, I know it's kind of hard to come down to somebody for liking something that you don't. Almost irrational. Like, how do you nuke somebody for just liking something? Well, he's a little bit disconnected from his fan base, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. And not just his fan base, probably everyone. So, the way that Angry Joe's a little bit out of touch with his audience, right, and with people in general, is that when he looked at the She-Hulk, I was going to say movie, but it is a series. When he watched a couple episodes of it or whatever, he was like, yeah, it's not so bad. Sure, they poke fun at men. Sure, they give men a hard time. Sure, She-Hulk got really mad and she was about to murder some guys who were trying to pick her up. But I don't agree with the message, but I can still enjoy the show. And that almost sounds harmless, right? But the thing is that when you are a man, okay, let's flip this on its head for a second. Would I like a show that made fun of women? No. Not unless it was like cutesy little things like how they like to shop and maybe spend too much money. That's kind of like harmless poking fun, right? That's like if you make fun of men like painting their face and going to a sports game and being super rowdy. That's fucking hilarious. I can laugh at that, right? But when you villainize an entire gender for 30 minutes, that's not a fun time. If you have a message that you want to share to a population or people, there's two ways to do it, okay? One is you can do it at like a TED Talk kind of thing, or kind of like how I talk to you guys, that kind of thing. Or two, you can very lightly bring it up in media that is supposed to be fun and entertaining. Very sparsely, right? And it needs to be done in a way that's tasteful, makes sense, that kind of thing, right? But the way that is done in She-Hulk, and let me just say, I haven't watched a whole lot of it for a good reason, but the way that is done is just very agenda-y. And I think that in general, I know that in general, we've had enough agenda-ness of any type of agenda. We just want to have fun, right? And just enjoy what you're looking at, just be entertained by the characters and the storyline, that kind of thing. I think it's fucking funny how I say that while wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt, but fuck off. I just put the shirt on, okay? Shut up. We're not talking about that today. We're not talking about me, we're talking about you. The problem with media that is trying to almost like educate adults like they're children in school. Now, let me be very clear. There's very little difference between a child in school and an adult. Adults can be fucking dumb and dim-witted as hell a lot of times. Just drive in traffic anytime, any day during rush hour, and you will see what I mean. need not go far. But when it comes to media entertainment, that's what it's there for, is to take you away from the world that stresses you out or makes you anxious or depresses you. It's to give you a break from that bullshit, right? So if you want to have a documentary about the struggles of men or the struggles of women, sure. But don't put it in superhero movies and series and comics and stuff, because let's be honest, the struggles for either gender aren't all that surmountable that it has to be put into every single thing that's out there, right? When it comes to superhero stuff, just enjoy good guys and bad guys and people or villains or anti-heroes or special magical beings in the middle duking it out and having their own agendas with one another. You don't need to throw identity politics into something about superheroes. Now back to where Angry Joe done fucked it up was when he got angry. Well, first was when he couldn't see that the problem with a show like She-Hulk is that it really alienates its own audience, which is men. It's right in the title, She-Hulk. You're like, wait, what do you mean it's in the title? It says She-Hulk. What does that have to do with men? Anything that has to do with attractive women has to do with men. Deal with it. Now, this version of She-Hulk is not attractive in any way, shape, or form, physically or mentally, which is a shame all the way around. But if you look at the comics, damn, son, where'd you find those? So what I want you to understand is that when something like that comes across your plate and you're a content creator, you have millions and millions of followers, millions and millions of men looking at what you have to say, and then you basically side against them and go with the identity politics, you're doing your own fan base a disservice. And as a man, if you're going to look at a superhero show and let it tell you how shitty you are, you're doing yourself, as well as the rest of us men, a huge disservice. Just fucking stop it. So that was step one of what Angry Joe did that was just out of touch with his fan base, right? The other thing is that he responded to the barrage of anger towards him, being Angry Joe, about his mostly positive review of She-Hulk. And the way he responded to it was by being upset and even saying, hey, if you're mad with me and you want to unsubscribe from me because of an opinion I have about a show that's not even all that serious, then go right ahead. Now those sound like some gangsta-ass words you might hear me say, right? But the truth is that the people are upset because the show depicts men as either bumbling idiots, weak, or villainous. Even the Hulk, the fucking Hulk running around saving worlds and shit, can't have his time to shine. And that is a shame. How are you going to have fucking the Hulk, the original Green Mamma Jamma, not be the OG? And how are you going to have She-Hulk at times seem to be on par with the Hulk in strength when she just became a Hulk like 2 days ago? What the fuck? And I'm pretty sure that the powers the Hulk has aren't explained to be as magical or mystical. Now, they might be pushing some of those realms as far as how it works with the genetics and the, powers that he does end up possessing from gamma rays. Howsoever, it's supposed to be mostly scientific. And what that means is that him being a larger male and a larger Hulk alone by definition should simply, without dispute, mean that he is by far stronger, 3, maybe even 4 times stronger than her on her best day, simply because of this physical genetic sides. Not to mention the feats that he's done, both in movie and in comic. To just have her just show up, it's a no-go. Now, onto her horrible personality. She despises men. She isn't that fond of the Hulk, which is her relative. And that is supposed to be a character that they want men to root for. Not gonna happen. Can't happen. And Angry Joe didn't see that. Now, it's also well known that an agenda is being pushed with She-Hulk outside of the screen. The people that are doing the fucking series have their own little gay pride kind of women whatever shit going on that they want to shove down your throat. And yeah, that's nothing new. It's Disney. But to go as far as to even change her origin story, and for those of you who are not blessed enough to know comics when they were good, let me explain to you. She gets her powers from the Hulk saving her life. She would never even be She-Hulk without the Hulk coming through and making sure she lived. She was an attorney, kind of like Matt Murdock, trying to do the right thing, kind of like Matt Murdock, having a good heart, right? But she didn't have any special skills. She's just an attorney trying to do the right thing. She gets gunned down by some mafiosos. Pa-da-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa, you know? She's donezo, dead, gone. Except she isn't. She's like in ICU, but she's gonna die. So Bruce Banner, better mind your manners, comes along with that super Bruce Hammer, gives her his blood, and makes sure that she lives. Now he knows what he's doing is gonna change her life forever, and that she'll never be able to go back to the same kind of life she once had. But it's either that or she's dead. He saves her life, and she's thankful for it. And she grows to become stronger, and she is always kind of has like a little quirky and fun sense of humor, mixed with a little bit of sexiness sprinkled on top, because man, when she transforms, She-Hulk's looking kabam. But she is never dismissive of the Hulk, and she doesn't seem to not appreciate him. But this is so different, because these agenda pushing mofos have the She-Hulk getting in a car accident and accidentally getting Bruce's blood. That's not how it happens. They rewrote it so that they wouldn't have a man saving a woman. And that is the sickest thing I can think of. And this is kind of shit that Disney's been trying to do. They're trying to throw a bunch of female characters at you and just say, here you go, they're great. But what makes them great? Why are they great? They don't have any come up. The writers don't have any ingenuity. There's nothing startling or sexy or amazing about them. In comics, before they went down, well, there's still a lot of good comics out there, just not from Marvel, but before Marvel Comics went down the poo-poo hole, all the girls were fantastic. They were just hot. We're talking all Marvel girls at their worst could only be an 8 out of 10. Psylocke broke the barrier. She was like a 15 out of 10. She-Hulk was up there too. Depending on how much you like muscle, she could have been as low as an 8 or as high as a 10. But this She-Hulk, not very good looking, horrible manners, horrible attitude, and not thankful at all for the training that Bruce is trying to give her. All this comes together with her man-hating and the series man-hating in general. And you have a recipe for disaster, which is why people don't like the show. In fact, no one likes the show Angry Joe, except for you. Now, I understand that Joe doesn't want to take a position where it feels political, but at a certain point in time, something touches your media and you got to stand up and talk about it. You can't just let people come in, push agenda into your media, ruin it, and then gobble it down and say it's okay, Joe. That's not how it works. And your fan base understands that. I understand that. And honestly, for once, when I speak out about this kind of shit, I'm not the only one who understands that. In fact, roll that beautiful beam footage.
Tatiana Maslany, the She-Hulk lead actress, says the show is inspired by transgender musician Sophie, and she hints that the show is feminist. I was rooting for this show. I really was.
Episode 1 premieres are typically designed to grab your attention and to make you want to keep watching. And I swear to you, not one thing happened during this episode that made me think this show is heading anywhere of any kind of value.
I'm a little sad. I don't like what they did here.
No, it was shit.
Yeah.
I watched this 30 minutes of...
Headline on Yahoo News reads, after Batgirl cancellation, She-Hulk cast and creators stress the importance of studios supporting female-led superhero projects. Translation, you all better pretend to actually like this bull we produced or you're all sexist.
She-Hulk released its first episode on Disney Plus and was immediately
what makes how bad it is.
So as you can see, the only one who really likes this, who has half of a brain, is Angry Joe. And I'm not even going to diss him because Angry Joe definitely has more than half a brain. He's been holding it down for the video gaming community for a long time now. You know, this isn't a situation where you die a hero or see yourself become the villain. It's not that bad. But it is bad that he doesn't see what the problem is, because that's a mistake he'll make again, because they're pushing this shit in video games. I mean, Star Wars video games, as much as I like Star Wars, they put some ugly ass girls in Star Wars video games. You know, the Twi'leks, come on, man. They're supposed to be the hottest thing in the universe. You guys fucking it up. The show's fucking that up. Joe, you don't want to be the one who's fucking it up. This time, you definitely done fucked it up. But understand why people are upset. And being condescending and being a jackass to them, talking to men who enjoy your content. I mean, dude, if every man unsubscribed, you'd have 3 fucking followers, okay? Let's keep it 100. Talking down to them when they actually are very much on point is just fucked up. When you tell them to unsubscribe, or if they unsubscribe, hey, we don't need you. And when you talk to them like, oh, because you were very close to some feminist type shit, saying very close to the lines of who hurt you. That doesn't fly, Joe. So what you can do to make it right is to honestly just tell your fan base sorry. Don't gotta apologize directly to me. You don't have to apologize directly to other creators. But you should definitely tell the people who've been following you all these years and watching you all these years, sorry. And I've seen a lot of good you've done over time. And this is the first time that I would say you really stepped out. I know there are some Me Too allegations that was thrown at you, and I was in your corner on that one, man. You know, fuck that shit, right? And you know, a lot of men who you refer to as men's rights activists were in your fucking corner when your ass was getting Me Too'd, motherfucker. I almost got upset just thinking about that. Who do you think came to your rescue when females were pointing the finger at you, okay? Not even people, when females were pointing the finger at you. When Twitter, feminist Twitter, wanted you canceled, Joe, who do you think was fucking there? This is a very unscripted video, because I just sort of remembered how bad it got for you for a very short period of time, and who was in your corner for that shit. The men, your Angry Joe army, your fan base, and other men who weren't in that fan base that are for men's rights. So don't throw men's right activists around like it's a bad word, or dismiss the idea or the notion of what it's there for. You dumb motherfucker. Don't do that. Get back to your roots. Find the inner man in you. And stand up when you see someone attacking your entire gender. Because it's fucked up. And you were saying, even as far as saying, is it so bad that we talk about women's issues and what they go through? What do they go through, Joe? Tell me. I'm listening. What do they go through? Because the last time I checked, they don't pay for dinner, they don't buy their own drinks, and they can find a rich guy to take care of them for their entire, 50 years on this planet. Get their hair done, their nails done, their tits done, all that shit can be on the house. Can you do that? I mean, I'm looking fucking fly. I don't see any bitches trying to just buy me everything I want, okay? That's not how it works. As a man, you can be very smart and you can be very good looking, or you could be both. And there's no bitches, at least not that you're gonna want to sleep with, who are gonna want to come along and buy you a bunch of shit. But if you're a female who's at least a 7, at least you can get the whole world thrown at you. Hell, fuck. You go to the store, you see fat bitches with thin dudes. Now, those thin dudes are probably some simpy motherfuckers, don't have their shit together, else they'd have a hot chick. But even fucking whales can find partners. Men have it a lot tougher because men have to pave their own way. Nobody does it for them. Nobody comes to their rescue. Let me ask all of you watching this right now, and I've said it before many times. When's the last time you seen a hot-ass homeless chick? I see homeless dudes who are in shape and have abs fairly regularly. I see homeless dudes who look like they just need a chance in life and they'd actually get somewhere because they look like halfway put together even though they're living in the streets, and that's not easy, I'm sure. When's the last time you seen a hot-ass homeless girl? You won't, because if a homeless girl goes homeless and she's hot, she will only be in the corner for as long as it takes the next Porsche to drive by. Facts, motherfucker. So understand, Joe. I know you're just ignorant to this. You live in your own little world. You have your own little success. And you've done well with it. But you don't face or see a lot of the issues that actual men go through. Okay? Your closest brush with that was that Me Too shit. Which is why I'm actually surprised you don't get it. But now that you've seen this video, I'm sure you will. Because you're not a dumb guy. You're a smart dude. You might be eating a little too many cheeseburgers. You look back at your older videos, Angry Joe. And new Angry Joe. Older Angry Joe was definitely able to hop more fences than new Angry Joe. But aside from that, you got your shit together pretty well. And I'm proud of you. But this time you done fucked it up. Say sorry to your fan base. Anyways, for those of you thinking about checking out She-Hulk, don't. You're wasting your time. She-Hulk hates you as a man. And as a woman, it just wants to keep you down. That can be a whole nother video. But yeah, it's not doing women any favors either. You know? When you lie to females and tell them that they have it so tough that they can skate through life if they actually took time to put themselves together, you're not helping anybody. You're making everything worse. Don't watch She-Hulk. Don't watch anything from Marvel. If you have Disney Plus, cancel that shit. And not over just She-Hulk, because any streaming service that puts out enough content is going to have shit content on it, right? Is what it is, as they say. But cancel Disney because of the agenda they're trying to push. Bunch of trans issues, bunch of women's issues, and is all being bundled up into the things that you used to love, and it's destroying it. Star Wars isn't what Star Wars is, should, or was, or even what it could be. Fucking Marvel's done for. When they canceled Marvel on Netflix, I said, this shit's over. You don't want to see the Punisher on fucking Disney. Come on, give me a break. You don't want to see Wolverine on Disney. You don't want to see Daredevil on Disney. Jeez, man. But they're going to try to put some of that shit on Disney, and it's all going to be bad. Cancel your Disney Plus and go watch some fucking anime. Japan's still holding it down for the real men like big anime titties. Or any type of titties. Japan's got it right. You know, honestly, any other place in the world has women right. America and I guess Western countries, the only place where you can find a well anytime you take a look around. Just go to Walmart or your gas station, or I don't know, look outside your door. You live underwater. What can I say? All right, that's been that. God Connecticut. See you in the next video. Send this to Angry Joe. Let him know when he goes wrong. Keep him honest. And remember to subscribe, because don't expect YouTube to show me love. I'm telling you the truth. Don't expect someone else to show me love, because I'm telling you the truth. Right now is a hard time to be honest. But I'm a hard-ass motherfucker. See you around.